let's talk about something that I think we've all wondered about. Why do some people seem to achieve results that are thousands of times bigger than everyone else's? It's definitely not about just working more hours. It's about understanding these hidden levels of effectiveness that let you smash through your own personal limits. All right, let's get into it. It's a wild paradox, isn't it? Every single one of us gets the exact same 24 hours in a day, and yet one person can earn $10,000 a year while someone else makes billions. And the thing is, this isn't about being born a genius, having a photographic memory, or anything like that. So, what's the secret variable? This metaphor just hits so close to home. So many of us feel like that fly, right? We're just working harder and harder, pushing against some invisible barrier until we're totally exhausted. But what if pushing harder isn't the answer at all? What if, like, right next to us, there's been an open door this whole time and we just didn't see it? Okay, so this brings us to our first big idea here, the 24-hour paradox. Let's really dig into what's separating the kind of good results from the truly mind-blowing ones. Here's the absolute bottom line. It all comes down to one word: effectiveness. But listen, we're not just talking about being a little more productive. No, we are talking about completely different levels of effectiveness. And understanding these levels, that's the real key to finding that open door. So let's talk about that first level. This is where pretty much everyone starts, and honestly, it's where most people get stuck for good. We're going to call it the effort trap. So at this first level, the rules are super simple. Your results are tied directly to your personal effort. The more hours you clock in, the more skills you have, the harder you grind, the more you make. I mean, if you're an employee or a freelancer, this is your world, right? And hey, it works for a little while. But then this happens, the plateau effect. It's that incredibly frustrating feeling, you know the one I'm talking about. You're pouring in more and more effort, working late nights, sacrificing weekends. But your income, your results have just completely flatlined. You're pushing harder than ever, but the needle just isn't moving. And this point of total frustration, well, it has a name: the glass ceiling. It's that invisible wall where doing more of the same, more time, more effort, it just stops working. You've officially become the fly hitting the glass. So the big question is, how do you shatter it? Well, that brings us to the solution, the breakthrough principle. And it's not about more force. It's about a totally new direction. And this quote is everything. Seriously, it's the whole key. I'm going to say it again because it's that important. To break through, you must start doing the same things differently or start doing different things. See? More of the same is a dead end. You have to change the entire game. And that is the open door from our little metaphor. Instead of just banging your head against the glass, you have to stop, look around, and walk through the opening. The breakthrough is a complete shift in your strategy, not just cranking up the brute force. Okay, so what does doing things differently actually look like in the real world? Well, the first huge leap you can take is mastering the art of delegation. Now, delegation is way more than just telling people what to do. It's a skill, and it's got 3 distinct levels. Level 1 is where most of us start out, delegating simple tasks. You tell them what to do, when to do it, and exactly how. The next level up is delegating results. You just define the what, and you trust them to figure out the how. But the real game changer? That's level 3, delegating decisions. You just set a big, broad goal, and then you give them total ownership of the journey and the outcome. And this table just lays it out so clearly. As you move up these levels, just look at what happens. Your direct input goes way down, while their responsibility and their sense of ownership goes way up. And of course, the compensation changes to match. It goes from a basic salary to bonuses for hitting targets, all the way to profit sharing or equity for real ownership. This is how you start to leverage other people's time and brilliance. So mastering this kind of delegation can make you really successful, even wealthy. You've officially broken through that first glass ceiling. But, and this is kind of crazy, there's another one waiting for you. A higher one, and getting through it requires an even bigger mental shift. This brings us to the next stage of the game. It's about moving beyond just earning money to the completely different world of creating wealth. And trust me, they are not the same thing. So what's the difference, really? Well, take a look. Earning money is active. It's linear. You're basically just trading your time for cash. But creating wealth, that's passive. And it's exponential. You're building systems that work for you. Earning depends on your effort. Creating wealth? Well, it depends on something else entirely. Luck, and having the right tools to act on it. This quote from Rockefeller just nails it. If you're stuck on that hamster wheel, spending all day, every day, just earning money, you literally have no time or energy left to step back and focus on actually building the things that create real wealth. They are two fundamentally different activities. So true wealth creation really boils down to two things. First, yeah, you need a little bit of luck, being in the right place at the right time. But we all know luck by itself is pretty useless, right? You also need the tools, the systems, and the know-how to actually capitalize on that luck when it shows up. And this brings us to the final and highest level of effectiveness. It's a concept called superposition, and it is the ultimate secret to breaking through that final ceiling. So what is superposition? It's the deliberate, purposeful activity of creating systematic luck. Just think about that for a second. It completely reframes luck from being this random thing that just happens to you into something you can actively engineer, something you can prepare for. This is the absolute summit. At this level, it's not about managing your time anymore or even just managing your team. It's about positioning yourself and your systems to be right in the path of opportunity, to actually engineer that favorable convergence so that when luck finally does strike, you are ready to capture its full explosive impact. So the final question this leaves all of us with is a really powerful one. It's a challenge to look at everything we do through a totally new lens. So ask yourself, are you still just hitting the glass? Or are you finally ready to start looking for that open door? Are you ready to stop just earning and start creating your own luck?